MSC Cruises can be a great bargain compared with other major cruise lines. But what many first-time cruisers don't realize is that an inexpensive MSC cruise can quickly cost a lot more than expected. I've taken 5 MSC cruises, including 3 from the United States and 2 in Europe, and I've learned that MSC can be a great value, but only when you avoid paying for extras you don't actually need. Here are the biggest ways people waste money on MSC cruises and how to avoid making the same mistakes. Buying a beverage package without doing the math. One of the biggest ways people waste money on an MSC cruise is buying a beverage package without calculating whether they will actually drink enough to make it worthwhile. Let's use the premium extra beverage package on my 7-night MSC cruise as an example. At full price, the package costs $490 per adult. That works out to $70 per person per day. If your average cocktail or glass of wine costs around $14, you would need to order 5 of those drinks every day just to reach the $70 daily package cost. That means 5 drinks on embarkation day, 5 drinks on every sea day, and 5 drinks on every port day. But you need to be realistic, especially if you are on a port-intensive cruise. If you leave the ship early in the morning and spend 8 or 9 hours sightseeing, you may only have a coffee before leaving and a few drinks after you return. You're still paying the full $70 daily package cost, even though you spent most of the day off the ship. Also, remember that MSC requires adults sharing the same cabin to buy the same beverage package. At the full price, 2 adults would pay $980 for a 7-night cruise. It's only worth it if both adults can drink enough to justify the added cost. And if you have kids in your cabin, MSC will require you to buy the non-alcoholic drink package for kids, waiting until you're on board to buy the beverage package. Even when an MSC beverage package makes financial sense for you, you are wasting money if you buy it on board the ship. For example, the full price of the premium extra beverage package was $490 per adult for my 7-night cruise. But if I buy the beverage package before boarding, I get an early bird discount of $357.01 per adult. That means buying the package in advance saves $132.99 per person. For 2 adults sharing a cabin, the pre-cruise price is $714.02 instead of $980. That's a total savings of $265.98. Buying ahead reduces the daily cost from $70 to approximately $51 per person. With my example of $14 drinks, I only need 4 drinks each day instead of 5. Waiting until you're on board to buy cruise extras. MSC often charges less when you book these extras before your cruise. On my MSC cruise to Norway, I reserved a fjord kayaking excursion before boarding and paid $125 per person. Once I was on board, I saw the exact same excursion being sold for €130 per person. Using the current exchange rate, €130 is approximately $149.51. By booking ahead, I saved $24.51 per person. For my family of 4, that added up to a savings of $98.04, almost $100, for the exact same kayaking excursion. That's about 16% less than the onboard price. Booking early also guaranteed that we had spots. Many of the best shore excursions have limited capacity and can sell out quickly, especially activities such as kayaking, small group tours, and boat trips. So if there's an excursion you know you really want to do, don't wait until you board. Paying for more internet than you need. Another way cruisers waste money is by purchasing a full cruise Wi-Fi package when they only need internet occasionally. Before paying for internet for the entire sailing, think honestly about how often you'll actually use it. MSC sells full cruise internet packages before departure, but on MSC ships, I've also seen 24-hour Wi-Fi passes available for purchase on board. That can be a much cheaper option if you only need internet for one day. You may not need cruise Wi-Fi at all if your phone plan includes international coverage. For example, some T-Mobile plans include data and texting in many countries. On a port-intensive European cruise, you can simply wait until the ship docks and use regular cellular service while you're on land. And if your main reason for buying Wi-Fi is to stay in touch with the family or friends traveling with you, you don't need to pay for internet. The MSC For Me app has a chat feature that allows passengers on board the ship to message one another for free. It's especially useful for families and groups who split up during the day and need to coordinate a meeting place. Assuming your onboard credit is refundable. Another way cruisers waste money is by assuming that any unused onboard credit will be returned to them at the end of the cruise. Some onboard credit is refundable, but most onboard credit is use it or lose it. If you don't spend it before the cruise ends, the remaining balance is lost. Check your onboard account early in the cruise and ask guest services which portion of your credit is refundable and which portion must be used before disembarkation. You should also ask what the credit can be used for. Some onboard credit covers gratuities, excursions, specialty dining, Wi-Fi, drinks, spa services, or purchases in the onboard shops. Other credit may have restrictions. Once you know the rules, decide how you want to use it. It's better to apply the credit towards something you already plan to buy rather than waiting until the final night and panic buying souvenirs you don't really want. Not setting a spending limit for your kids. Another way families waste money on MSC Cruises is by giving their kids charging privileges without setting clear limits. Your child's cruise card are connected to your onboard account, which means they are walking around the ship with your credit card. A few arcade games, specialty drinks, candy, and souvenirs may not seem like much individually. But over a 7-night cruise, those charges can add up to hundreds of dollars. Before the cruise, decide exactly what your children are allowed to buy. Then go to guest services and set up a spending limit to be placed directly on your children's cruise cards. That way they won't overspend. Even with a limit in place, check your onboard account regularly through the MSC app so you have time to make any corrections if there are errors. Not realizing the currency exchange. If you're taking an MSC cruise in Europe, don't assume your onboard purchases will be charged in US dollars. On many European MSC cruises, the onboard currency is euros. This can create several ways to waste money. First, your credit card may charge a foreign transaction fee every time MSC processes your onboard account, so you need to make sure you use a credit card that doesn't have foreign transaction fees. You should also pay close attention to how your onboard credit is converted. On one of my MSC European cruises, I had a $100 MSC Future Cruise credit and a separate $75 onboard credit from my travel agent. The $100 MSC credit appeared as 100 euros, but the $75 travel agent credit was converted to 64 euros. So instead of receiving 175 euros in onboard credit, I received a total of 164 euros. As soon as you board, check your onboard account and confirm exactly how much credit you received. That way, you'll know how much you actually have available and won't accidentally overspend. Bidding too much for an MSC cabin upgrade. Before your cruise, it's common for MSC to invite passengers to bid for a cabin upgrade. Upgrade bidding can be exciting because it gives you the possibility of moving to a suite or higher cabin category, but it can also cause you to spend more than the upgrade is worth. Before placing a bid, check the current price of the cabin you want. Sometimes the difference between your existing cabin and the upgraded cabin is not much more than the suggested bid. In that case, it may be better to call and pay for a confirmed upgrade rather than bid and hope your offer is accepted. And remember that you don't get to choose your new cabin's location. You could be assigned a noisy cabin under the pool deck, or you might end up at the front of the ship where you may feel more movement in rough seas. About MSC's Status Match Program. MSC allows travelers to match their status from certain cruise lines and hotel loyalty programs to an MSC Voyagers Club tier. But you need to apply before your cruise. You can't wait until you're on board and ask guest services to add the status match to your current sailing. If your match hasn't been approved and connected to your reservation before departure, you will miss out on valuable benefits for the entire cruise. For example, Diamond members receive a complimentary specialty dining experience for 2 people. Gold members and higher receive 1 complimentary hour in the thermal spa area, allowing you to enjoy the spa facilities without paying the regular access fee. MSC Voyagers Club members also receive discounts in the onboard shops and discounts on future cruises. The application only takes a few minutes, but the benefits could save you money throughout your cruise. I have a separate video that walks you through exactly how to apply, so be sure to watch that before your next MSC cruise.
Get your free cruise packing list. Whether you're a first-time cruiser or a seasoned traveler, this one-page checklist makes sure you never forget the essentials. Download my free cruise packing list printable Link in the description below. Confused about gratuities? Here's the truth nobody warns you about. Watch the next video. I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.